Okay, this is Dr. RJB, RJ Bruno, and I wanted to talk a little bit about injury recovery time. Um, if you injure yourself, like I say, let's say a sprained ankle, um, uh, a hip pointer, some of the conditions that you can recover on by yourself, there's a certain amount of time before that's going to happen. Now, if it's something more serious, let's just say that you have a torn cartilage in the knee, a dislocation of your shoulder, that's going to require a lot more recovery time and may require physical therapy to get back to where you were before. But if it's just a simple situation where you were out running or playing basketball or some other sports, you sprain your ankle, the question is, how long is it going to take before you can expect to return to activity? Now, there is a certain amount of time that goes according to the seriousness of the injury. Let's just say you sprained your ankle and it doesn't feel too bad. You can still walk on it. Recovery time for that might just be a couple of weeks. With more serious ankle sprain, it might take a couple of months. For any injury to be completely healed, though, it takes 6 to 8 weeks. So even if it's a mild ankle sprain and you go back within a couple of weeks, it's not going to be fully strong for a couple of months. So usually if somebody comes in with a sprained ankle, I tell them, okay, get your ankle brace on. And then after a week or two, you can start testing your ankle to see how strong it is. If you're doing okay with the tests of the ankle, then you can go back to your sport. So some of these injuries are mild enough that you can go back playing your sport after a couple weeks. But even then, with those injuries, you have to be careful that when you do go back, you take it a bit easy. And like with the ankle sprain, you wear an ankle brace to support you. I had this experience myself. I had strained my hamstring on one side, and I felt like my hamstring was okay, so I went back to running again and did the same kind of training that I was doing before. Boom, I restrained the hamstring. So what I had to realize was that even though the hamstring felt better, it wasn't completely healed. So when I went back eventually, I decided that what I would do is kind of do some easy training, just put in some distance, but nothing real fast, nothing real hard. So I eliminated the interval training sessions and just went into the nice, easy, slow runs that, didn't stress my hamstring too much. And after a couple of months, I was able to do some faster workouts once it was completely healed. So in general, 6 to 8 weeks, it's going to take for that injury to heal. And you can't be stressing it too much during the healing process. Okay, so let's say that it's not running that you're talking about. It was an injury that you got during weight training. In that case, what I've told the weightlifter is to reduce the weight by at least half, and then to do more reps. Instead of doing low rep, high weight workouts, you do low weight, high rep workouts. So kind of the opposite approach. And in this way, you're not going to be stressing your joints again with the heavy weights. It gives your body a chance to rest, but just stay in condition. One of the things that I found out for myself and I mentioned this on a previous video, was that when you go on zero workouts, to say, okay, I'm going to take 2 weeks off, what I found was that the injury was still there after a couple weeks. It hadn't changed anything. But on the other hand, if I did a little bit of work, some easy training, it seemed like the injury got better faster with the conditioning that I was doing. In this way also, I didn't lose 2 weeks of activity. Likewise, if it's one of the sports injuries, first thing is talk to the trainer and get some advice there. With sport injuries, some of these can be very minor, and you could be just having to miss a little time off. But some of them can be quite major, and you might even need an MRI scan to try to figure out if you had any serious injury. So talk to the trainer, talk to your doctor also. And when they advise you to get back to your sport, then great. But like I said, just take any injury seriously and give it time. Okay, take care.